你看一下，丹麦的小孩都没有校服，以后吵得不得了。
烫不烫？
不烫。有河在旁边，然后有鸟，还有黑乌鸦。其实快乐先放下一点金钱的负担，不要追求名牌，不要跟人家比。北欧人的3个重点：追求快乐，而不是追求名利跟金钱。快要打仗了。OK。现在我后面呢，就是丹麦的歌剧院。其实看到这些设计哈，还有我们可以看一下那边的屋顶，可以拍一下那边的屋顶。你看，全部都是非常有创意的一个东西。我这几天跟丹麦很多的人、小朋友还有成人聊过，我了解到原来他们的创意来自什么？允许小孩不停的破坏。为什么？因为所有创新都是要先破旧才能立新。而我们华人的地区好像包括哪里？中国、香港、新加坡、台湾、日本、韩国，我们的创新上面为什么输给人家？因为我们有儒家思想，君臣父子，忠君爱国，有那么多的框框架构压在我们身上的时候，你没办法破坏，而且你没破坏，你就不可能去有新的东西，我们只能小小的一点去修。当然，在东方这个文化里面有它的优点，就是稳定，然后好管理。可是现在套在台湾，我那么小的一个地方，然后我们外面有那么多的压力，有那么多的强敌，我还是觉得我们应该走向于北欧这种破坏性的创新，让我们小孩多一点忤逆我们，不听我们的话，可是他们走出自己的路。要知道一件事情。下一代假如没有破坏我们既有的东西，他们一定不能青出于蓝胜于蓝。而全世界现在各个国家都不停在做破坏性的创新，尤其 AI 人工智慧的出现，以后已经不是听话、劳动、服从可以追得上这个世界的脚步。所以我真的很深的感受。这几天。欧洲4国，他们已经在密切的开会，准备要一起面对俄罗斯的军事威胁。这些国家虽然人口只有500多万，比台湾只有1/4，可是他们的军事实力联合起来还是非常的强。所以我深深的鼓励各位，真的让自己允许被破坏，让你的小孩允许去忤逆你，让你的小孩有破坏性的行为，只要他不是杀人放火。怀孕、吸毒，允许他们有一点点的破坏，也许是他未来人生的一个契机。这都是我在北欧到今天为止看到很重要的一个心得，跟大家分享。這個是
請問你而家喺邊度啊？
而家現在在新加斯白博物館，這個叫做冬季花園。1906年 落成，有玻璃屋顶，可以引入自然光。中间这个是新古典主义的百里石，通常是海神仙女的，很赞。各位，我终于找到我心里面最想要。为什么北欧的人会那么幸福？在我后面这个是法国人送给他们加斯堡美术馆一个雕像。你知道这是什么吗？这是一个在法国战争里面战败的一个士兵，胜利的女神把高举。它的题目就是“荣誉归于失败者”，是失败者哦，不是胜利者哦。因为法国战争的时候他们大败，所以他们觉得自己的失败没有什么好羞耻的，这叫 Glorious Victories。它代表着什么？我这里有一篇讲得非常好的名字，这个格言是拉丁格言：胜利不等于正义，失败也不等于绯闻。人民相信，即使战败也能保持尊严。它颠覆了社会只歌颂胜利者的思维，提醒人们勇气、牺牲、信念本身值得荣耀。所以人的价值不在于胜败，而在于奋战时的尊严。所以跟各位还有跟我自己共勉励，失败也是值得被胜利女神所拥抱的。胜利者不一定代表他都是对的，失败者不代表他都是错误的。我们的观念是要跟永恒做结合，而不是短时间、一时之间的胜败。大家加油
Vi kommer under mange laver broen, mine danske venner, der sidder hereafter. Vær sød og ikke røre broen, sid ned. Hold arme og ben ind i båden. De har sikkerhedsvest nede side, og I må ikke ryge eller vape on board. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some safety rules for you. Please listen to what I have to say. It's very important. We're going to go under, as you can see, many low bridges. You must remain seated. Please do not touch the bridge. Keep your arms and legs in the boat. Your safety vest is under your seat. On your left-hand side. Yes, it burned down on April 18th of last year, and that was also, strangely enough, the same day that Notre Dame burned down. And in fact, the people of Notre Dame, they are helping to repair the old stock exchange. It is 400 years old. This is Greenlandic granite, very expensive because Greenland should be Iceland, and Iceland should be Greenland by name only. And so it's very expensive, very difficult to repair. They're going to do the whole thing. It's going to cost $3 billion, and it will take 20 years. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'll do it half price, a little spray paint, a little putty, a few ladders, but no, they didn't go for it. Anyway, 90 people maybe. All right, watch out for the bridge, folks. Please remain seated. Thank you. But they didn't go for it. Anyway, folks, after this, we're going to come to the Grand Canal. You're welcome to do whatever you want. Just stay in the boat, please. But you're welcome to stand up, take photos as you will. Dance if you want to. You can dance if you want to. If you exclude these 3 yellow buildings, this is Christianstown. They're still part of Christianstown, but they're newer architecture. All of the other buildings, the white building, the church that we see over there, we're going to go there. This is all Christianstown. These buildings are from 350 to 400 years old. This is named after Christian IV. He built this area. This is the island of Amager. This is the island of Sjælland. And where the palace is, that is Slotsholmen, the power center of Denmark. Now a boat like this, yeah, it is a boat. You say bus first, but it is a boat, yes. A boat like this would take people going to work at Burmeister and Vine, which was the shipbuilding company in the early 1900s. They would take a boat just like this, and they would travel out to Burmeister and Vine, which we're going to see a little bit later. So this was the main mode of transportation, of course, for most lands before they had bridges. However, there's something about traveling by boat that I love. That's why I do this, because it's calming. And this was the only way that you could, 25 years ago, this was the only way to get around in Copenhagen, or in Denmark. You would literally take a train to the next island. You'd get on a ferry with the train. And then the train and the ferry would continue to go to the next island. You get out and you continue with the train. I loved it. Over to the right, you'll see a yellow building all the way down there that is called the Sydkvesthus. We're going to go down that canal there. That is the old, it's not a good story for men house. It was an orphanage for boys. Then it was a infirmary for young men. Then it became a jail. So it's been a really sad story for men in general. Now it's a hotel. I think the story is much better, I hope. Okay, on the left-hand side we have the Customs House from 1937, the first and original Customs House. This was also the port to Sweden. We would take a fast ferry from here, which was amazing. Now there's a bridge. Not as amazing. The fast ferry was great. It was an hour and 15 minutes. Every time you got on it was like you're going on vacation. They had duty free. You could buy cigarettes and tobacco for the kids. It was cigarettes, tobacco, and candy for the kids. It was a fantastic tour. I loved it. My daughter loved it as well. On the right-hand side, we have the Nordic House, that orange roof. That's the home of Iceland, Faroe Islands, and Greenland, former colonies. Iceland has its embassy there, and Greenland and Faroe Islands are territories to the state of Denmark. Now we're coming to the bridge for you lovers. This is the Kissing Bridge. This is the largest retractable bridge in the whole world. 67 meters, and they say when we go underneath it, if you kiss, you'll be in love forever. So grab your partner. I won't look. Now's the time. Are you ready? I wish you all the best. All the love in the world to everyone. And down here is Newhound, where you see all the beautiful colored houses. That is Newhound. On the left, you see a red house. On the right, you see a brown brick with a cream house next to it. Hans Christian Andersen lived there. He all the way down to, and at the red house, all the way down is the King's Square. And across from that is the old Royal Theatre. He also lived there in Magazine, which was a hotel. Why? Because he was a thespian. He wanted to get into the Royal Academy of Theatre as bad as he could. He tried singing, he tried dancing, he tried acting. They were like, no, no, no. And they're like, and then finally the director felt sorry for him. He's like, son, what can you do? Can you write? Yes! His first production was The Ugly Duckling, which I'm sure is an autobiography. And this is the new Royal Theatre, which was built in 2008, and 2009 opened up with Shakespeare's Hamlet. To be or not to be, that is the question, whether it is noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, which this apartment costs at the top, 10 million euros. This is the most expensive apartment in all of Denmark, and it's laying on what is called Paper Island. Paper Island is a former armory. It is the armory for wars with Sweden. Do we have any Swedes on board? No Swedes? Okay. One Dane and no Swedes. All right, Norwegians? All right, nobody in Scandinavia but one is on the boat, but nobody in Scandinavia fights anymore. Sweden and Denmark have been fighting for hundreds of years. This is going to be an indoor and outdoor water park. It's being built by a Japanese architect, and I can't wait. I thought it was done this year. Looks like it's going to be next year. But it's going to be amazing. It's a culture house for the area. On the left-hand side, we have a park to the Opera House. This also used to be the whole Navy. The Danish Navy used to be in this area, and that is a lovely boat. There you go. We have a lovely boat on the left-hand side. And we're now coming into more military area, offices and barracks of different wars. Now these are apartments, houseboats, and this is a bakery. This is called Hart Bakery, the best bakery in Denmark. And there are other ones around the city. You can Google it. H-A-R-T Bakery. And then you get another view of the tower. Please remain seated. We're coming to the bridge. and I will be getting off of the microphone. Please remain seated, Versunatak, out of respect of the neighbors. Thank you. The British took everything, the whole naval fleet. So what they would do, whatever they could find, whatever small boats they had, they would mount cannons on them so they could protect the harbors. And they would put them on an angle, put the sheds on an angle so it was easy for them to roll them in and to retrieve them out. So 200 years and well preserved. If you look behind, you will see treetops all the way down. This is Christiania. Anybody heard of Christiania by show of hands? Yes, Christiania is the free city. For those of you who haven't heard about it, this is the Second World War military area that was abandoned in '65. And in '71, the hippies, local hippies, were inspired by the civil rights movement. They also wanted peace and love, and they wanted to be self-governed. They didn't want the thumb of the government over them. They wanted to choose. So they revolted and they squatted this area. There's been a civil war, a little mini one, for decades. And in the last 10 years, they said, you know what, buy it. So they own it now. It's known, for those that know it, it's known around the world like a little Amsterdam, like cannabis, for cannabis. And it's never been legal in Denmark, but it's been tolerated. So this has been a place where people have come from all over the world for decades, since it started. Now it's a beautiful oasis. There's no more cannabis allowed in here. It's a beautiful oasis. There's a lake in the middle. There's a lot of little shops. One bicycle unique from Artesian. And there's some cute restaurants. It's a very unique place. No cars are allowed. So it's people going around on those Christiania bikes. The funny bikes that you see with a cart in front of it. They originally started there because there's no cars allowed. So it's a whole different kind of community. If you want to see something different, you have the time, I definitely recommend it. Now up in the air we have smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Deep Purple, folks, we have the only cloud maker in the world. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, thank you for laughing, appreciate it. No, it's not a cloud maker. That is an incinerator. It's called Copenhill. It has a ski slope. It has a climbing wall, and there's some hiking trails there. It has won so many awards because it's very innovative and it's also very functioning for the city. It burns enough garbage so 200,000 homes in Copenhagen get energy from this building. It's so efficient, we take garbage from England, which I think is weird. The garbage is traveling around on barges, but anyway, that's how it works. We help each other out. That's not weird. So that's a good thing. The little building on the other side of the bus that you're going to see right now with the gray house, with the gray roof and the white porthole, it's the smallest town hotel in the world. Please remain seated. Excuse me, not in the world, in Copenhagen. It's built enough for 2 adults and 2 children. There's a little people. And underneath you have the kayaks, and that comes with the hotel as well. They have their own swimming pool, a big swimming pool. If you're interested, it takes 2 to 3 years to rent that place out, so you have to come back again. These are all old ferries turned into houseboats of some of our more prominent figures in Copenhagen. On the right-hand side, you have current military area. This is where the military is now. The offices and some barracks that are there. And again, these are all old military areas turned into something new. We have the F-352. That's a frigate from the Cold War. That is called the Pieterskram. Pieterskram was one of the greatest admirals in Danish history. I think he was a bit of a pirate, and his name comes from a bit of a pirate, or Viking, or pirate, or piracy. But anyway, he won so many awards because he took every battle and he won them all in the 1500s. And his great legacy has gone through a bit of a few problems because this boat was laying up in the northern area of this island, Sjælland, the largest island, and it accidentally shattered. So this great man's legacy has been reduced to the oops boat. Poor Peter. Poor Peter. You can see the cranes there. That's from the Cold War where they repaired the boats. Again, this whole area, you can see the Opera House, which is a 14-level building. This whole area was the Navy. This is where all the ships were before the British took them 200 years ago. Now, these three buildings, the one on the left is from Ghana, the one in the middle is from Greenland, the one on the right is from the Virgin Islands. The two on the left are former colonies. The Virgin Islands was slave plantations of Denmark, where that would hold sugar, tobacco, and other products. Now it has the bust for the royals. You see a replica of the King David, of David. And in the middle there is the one from Greenland would have tusks and furs, also one from Africa, tusk and furs. And now they're offices. These three buildings, the building behind us, the one that is the most expensive apartment, they made their architecture based on the memory of these buildings out of respect of a time that has changed in Denmark. This is Maersk, a shipping container conglomerate. This is where those blue shipping containers that you see in the news, it's the largest shipping container conglomerate in the world, and this is called the House of 1,000 Blue Eyes. Now you notice the tent that is to spare the noise from the royal family, which we'll see on our way back, and to spare the sea from any dust in the building of the new addition. Now we can see better of Copenhagen. And there's a submarine over there. That is called the Seal. That was used in the Iraq War. Yep. The same Iraq that's in the desert. Thanks for laughing. I appreciate it. Yes, this little submarine was used on the rivers. That's why it's so small. There's the P-547. That is also a Cold War ship. And that was a very fast torpedo, thus the Sharpie. And there's the Harbor Police. And they're doing what the Harbor Police does. We're coming to the end of the military area, and maybe one day we can say era. We have a flag. That is the Danish national flag. It's the oldest active national flag in the world. And it's sitting upon Battery 6. That fort was used to protect Copenhagen, the military area here, the Navy, from Sweden. Because Sweden is 30 kilometers that way, and Sweden and Denmark have been fighting again for hundreds of years. The Swedes would come row your boat gently over from those 30 kilometers and attack Copenhagen and win most of the time. So Battery 6 was built by King Christian VI. He said, all right, we do something different because the technology had caught up. So they could blow them out of the water with the cannons. However, the Swedes are very smart, and being cousins to the Danes, who are also very smart, they said, you know what? Let's wait till winter. So they waited till winter because at that time you could literally walk from Sweden to Denmark because the ice was frozen. It's not like that now. But up until I think the 40s, you could walk from Sweden over to Denmark by ice. So they would attack on ice, run over, and attack Copenhagen and win. And then the Danes said, you know, come on, bring it again. So the next time that they tried to do that, the Danes took sticks and they took stones and they broke the ice so that they couldn't get through. But they've been going back and forth like this, having all kinds of different interesting journeys with each other. But that's the end of the military. Enough of that. Now we're coming to the industrial area. This is where all the ships were built. Over 1,000 ships were built in Reftchalun, that building. They were steel ships. And these shipping containers, these are apartments. Shipping containers turned into apartments for students originally. This area now is a playground. This was the hugest industry of all of Denmark. In the early 1900s, there were over 1,000 ships built and over 8,000 Danes living here. And at that time, there was a lot of people. Number one industry. And there's a food court that's here. And that crane is for bungee jumping. Do we have any interest? Oh, one hand is there. There's a lady in the back. Okay. Naked bungee jumping? No? Well, when that crane, the white and blue crane opened up, they offered free bungee jumping to anyone that would go naked. They almost went out of business the first day. So they don't do that anymore. There are hot tubs out there as well. You can see the windmills going around creating more energy. And all the way out, you can see the large cruise ships, if anybody came with a cruise ship. This area out here, this is where the industrial area is. This is where the customs area is now. UNICEF is out there. The United Nations has a satellite building there called United Nations City, which is a very unusual building because the windows change according to the sun. Speaking of sun, you may want to get your cameras out and take a photo. Don't look directly at it. I can't promise you when you're going to see it again on your trip, so you may want to take a photo. You may want to take it so you can tell, yes, there was sun in Copenhagen. That's up to you, but don't stare directly at it, please. But this area out there is a CO2 neutral area, and Copenhagen is promising to be CO2 neutral by 2035. Now, where the ships used to be is through this area. The large ships came through here, making the city waters very unclean from here down to there. So we stopped doing that. We pushed them out here about 20 years ago. Hello, beautiful people. And now they're here. Oh, and there's the ugly duckling and its mama, the swan. Aren't we fortunate? All right, folks, get your cameras together. I can feel we're slowing down. It's time to get a photo of the most beautiful and famous woman in Denmark. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Little Mermaid from the back. Oh, see, they get the view of the front. Aren't they lucky? Oh, okay. The Little Mermaid was sculpted in 1913 by Edvard Eriksson, Carl Jacobsen of Carlsberg Beer, the founder's son. He went to the ballet and he fell in love with the ballerina. Her name was Ellen Price, and he was like, "Oh my God, I love you. Will you marry me?" Oh, she's like, "No." Okay. Will you model for me? Yeah, with just my head. So the head is Ellen Price. The body is Edvard Eriksson's wife. And the fishtail we call is Gladys. So she's made up of 3 different beings, and I don't know if that's the reason, but she has been blown off the rock. She's had paint thrown upon her. That is her 3rd head. That is her 3rd arm. And the poor woman has just been through a lot. And I'm not sure if it's political or they just don't like that she's 3 different beings. But the only good thing that's happened to her is that all these people, and like you, love her and want to come see her. She gets hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. And she's been to Shanghai, China. She has a passport. The Chinese love Denmark's attractions. So she was there. We watched her every minute on video, but she was there. Chinese treated her very well, and the Chinese also love Tivoli. Has anybody been to Tivoli? Show of hands, anybody been? Oh, not many. I highly, if you have time, it's going to be open tomorrow, I heard, go to Tivoli. It's like this, it's relaxing, but you can also get food. If you have children, you can put the kids on the rides. It's a great place to go. Which was started by King Frederick V and our new King Frederick X. Do we have any Australians on board? 1. Did you bring me any wine? No. And you kind of look like Mary. Good on you. Good on you. Church towers, the one with the ball on it is the earth, and there's Jesus on top of the world. And the one on the right is Christian's Church. This one I can talk about, but I can't talk about it until I get in. And the other one I will point. I'll go like this and point. But that's Christian's Church. And they're all along the canal there. All right, speaking of Christian's Church, we're going to speak of who it was named after. King Christian IV. This is the area, his area. The church with the most photographed tree in Copenhagen. Yeah, the tree has its own website, by the way. You can add yours to it. Yes, it is. That tower was built by Laurence de Thurah in 1745. And we're coming to another bridge. Please remain seated.
都是什么背景？
That twist on its axis bring the two back. They say if someone comes from the left, someone comes from the right, and they meet in the middle, that they'll be in love forever. I come here every day. That's the tax office. We pay 40% in taxes, 25% in income tax, and 25% in sales tax. So we tax upon tax upon tax. And this is the Danish National Library, made out of black granite from Tanzania. And behind it is the original Danish Royal Library from over 250 years ago, which is an annex of Christiansborg Palace. This is the Slottholmen. This is the powerhouse of Denmark. No one wanted that granite building. It's called the Black Diamond. No one wanted it because this is such an old island, and everything is very old and responsible for Denmark. They were really upset about it, but now everybody loves it because it is beautiful. And over here you have antiquity, and this set the stage for the modern architecture for the harbor. Speaking of which, this is the architecture center. It's called Blocks. Can anyone tell me what it reminds them of in new Danish industry? Did I hear like, yes, Legos, exactly. Also the shipping containers. It was made by a Dutch architect. That wasn't popular either, but I think they chose well because it is a tribute to Denmark. There's a very nice restaurant at the top where you can see people looking over the harbor and waving to us. There we go. Please remain seated. So at the top we have over 6 bridges to go under. Can I get a woo? You can see that it's built over the highway. That's the same as the library. It's exactly the same as the library. It's also built over the highway that has a cafe, but the restaurant is amazing. Please remain seated. We're coming to another bridge, and ahead of us, if you can see, we have a family of 8 swans. This is very unusual. Please remain seated. Very unusual in Denmark. It used to be all the time, but usually they don't last that long. So this is very fortunate to see the whole family together. A bunch of baby ugly ducklings. So if you get a chance on your side to get a photo or up front. This is Christian IV. He built this. This is brewery house for his officers. He gave them 7 to 10 liters of beer every day. Somebody's happy. Are you happy about it? Or 7 to 10 liters of beer every day. Oh, we get to see the babies. Hi, babies. Yay. Yeah, the big babies. And but 7 to 10 liters of beer they received. I told you he wasn't a great warrior. Maybe that's one of the reasons why. But to his credit, no, everybody had to drink beer. Children, grandma, everyone was drinking beer because the waters were unclean. There was not a system of sanitation separate from the water system, from the garbage system. Everything went together in Copenhagen City, so the waters were unclean for hundreds of years. And in the 1850s, it was a cholera epidemic. And it wasn't just Copenhagen, it was other cities in Europe because of the lack of the knowledge of what to do. This rounded area, this is Christiansborg Palace Stables. This is where the royal horses take it. Please remain seated. Ma'am, sit down in the back, please. Ma'am, sit down. Thank you. Thank you. This is where the royal horses used to be. 220 royal horses, they are now, but there used to be 220, now they're 22. The bridge in front of us is called the Marble Bridge. This and the two pavilions are the grand entrance, the grand entrance to the palace. There's a tower in the middle where you can go up by elevator to look over Copenhagen. And this is where the pigeons come to roost. Please remain seated. They're usually here. Oh, yeah, now they're coming down. No, they're not after you. It's all good. It's not Alfred Hitchcock. Please remain seated. They get enough to eat. They're good. On the left-hand side, we have the National Museum and the King Frederick V that built the Amalienborg Palace, the area around that. This is also his home when he was a child and as a crown prince. All right, folks, we're coming to the Storm Bridge, which is where the Swedes tried to attack the palace. Please remain seated, and any elbows out of the boat, please put your elbows in the boat. Elbows in the boat. Please do not touch this bridge at all, and mind your children if they are close to the walls. Thank you. You're welcome to sing along, don't be afraid. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them smile for me and for you. And I say to myself, what do you say? What a wonderful world. Oh yeah. Thank you for singing along, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you. Is everybody okay in the back? One person, okay. All right, hold on. We're gonna go get the king and queen. You know, there were all these little pawns and these little knights and all, everybody, the rooks, they were going around, they were capturing everything. They had the whole board. And then they decided it can't be checkmate until we get the king and queen. And that was the biggest mistake of all, because you don't mess with anybody's mama and papa. And you definitely don't, that's the country's king and queen. They went nuts. They pushed them from here, out of Copenhagen, out of Sjælland, and out of the whole country because of that one move. So, you know, you can really get people angry enough to change the story very quickly. Hi, people. This is the old part of the city. It has been rebuilt. It burned down in 1727. The reason being was that there was too much wind. Also, there were wagons used with barrels, which was very difficult because these are cobblestone streets and very small, narrow streets. So when they rebuilt, they made the streets wider, as you can see here, and they cut the corners of the buildings off so that they could get the buggies around. And of course, the other reason was that everybody was drunk. So it was very difficult to put out fires when you're drunk. Yes. Okay. You notice the rings over here. These were for the fishing ships. And this is the fisherman's wharf. So they set the fish out here, and there were women dressed in long black dresses, and they would clean the fish, wrap them, and sell them. And this little statue has always been my favorite statue since I came here, of this woman by the metro, a little stone statue. She represents those women. I like to call her the mama of Copenhagen. The man on the horse is called the father of Copenhagen. His name is Bishop Absalon. He got the okay from King Valdemar to build Copenhagen Castle, which foundation was laid in 1167. This is the royal chapel of that castle, and the church steeple is Nikolai Church. That was a lookout point for any fires in Copenhagen because it was the highest point. Okay, everyone, please be seated. Yeah, be seated as well. Please be seated. We're coming to a bridge. Thank you. Please sit down. I'm so glad we've had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we've gotta say so long. So long, everybody. God bless you. Thank you for joining us today. And folks, please, if you don't remember anything else that I've said today, please remember to remain seated until we give you the thumbs up, okay? Thank you.
是 video
对。
哦，好看，前进拍。我在拍 video。
哦 video。
对。假装看他的书。